this video I want to talk more about the separation from thought, because it's very important to separate ourselves from our thoughts if we want to break free from our thoughts, because most of our problems is psychological problems. Most of our problems are created by our thoughts, especially here in the Western world, where we have most of the things we need. We have roof over our head, we can buy all the foods in the grocery store, we have fresh water in the house, and we have a very comfortable life, but still we are not the happiest people. And why is that? That is because of our compulsive thinking. That is the greatest addiction, as Eckhart Tolle says, that we cannot stop thinking. That's why the title of this video is that the greatest freedom is freedom from thought. And today I want to talk more about that. And I like the expression that Michael Singer uses, that we cannot see the forest for the trees. In the same way, we cannot see the mind because of all our thoughts. So when we are completely identified with our mind, when there's no space, we believe every word the voice in our head is saying. So we are totally lost in thinking, and there's an endless stream of thought that is going on. There's no space, there's no pause. We are not present to the moment, we're just lost in thinking. And that's why meditation is so good, because then you can learn to observe your thoughts. You can create space between you and your thoughts. You realize that you're not your thoughts. Even though most of the time when I meditate, for example, I lose myself in thinking, but then I go back to the present moment. So I can observe my thoughts for a little while, and then one thought says, this is very important, think about this, and then I start thinking about that. But at least I'm aware of it, and I can play around a little, and I can bring, when I'm aware again, I can bring back awareness to the present moment, and then try to focus to be present again. But another thing that's not trying to be present is not really a good thing. It's like realizing, why am I not present? Because if I force myself to be present, it takes a lot of willpower. Have to be present, and like it's raining. So the best thing is to let go of our thoughts. Just let them go. It's like a tug of war. Instead of trying to win and use all your strength to win, you just let go of the rope. So I like that analogy, because when I'm lost in my head, instead of trying to force myself to be present, I just try to let go of the thoughts. Let go of the thoughts, and when I let go of all the thoughts, I naturally become present to the moment again. And that's why meditation is so good, because then you can observe your thoughts. Even though, again, the best practice for me is when I do ordinary things, like when I'm folding the laundry, when I do the dishes, when I'm in the shower. I try to be present when I do these things, and I try to let go of all the thoughts that wants my attention. And some thoughts are hard to let go of, like the gravitational pull is so hard. But that's why it's so good to start with low-hanging fruits. And that's why, like when I'm in the shower, when I folding my laundry, when I'm in the kitchen doing the dishes, you know, that's a low-hanging fruit. When I'm in the shower and I think about something I have to do at work, like I know that's not so important, so I'd rather be present. I want to be present more than I want to think about what I'm supposed to do at work, because I know what I'm gonna do. I don't have to think about that now. I can deal with that when I'm at work. Like I cannot call the person in the shower. That would be weird. So I have to wait till I come to work. So that's why I like to practice when I do ordinary things together with meditation. And if we're able to create space between ourselves and our mind, we have a better chance to observe our mind and to understand our mind. Like it's easier to observe the sun from the earth than it is if the sun would be right here. It's really hard to observe something that's so close to you. It's really hard to even see what it is. That's why it's so important to have distance again, from the thing you want to observe. So if you want to observe our mind and if you want to understand our mind, the distance is so important. And what is mind? What is the nature of mind? Michael Singer says that our mind is a field of energy that creates thoughts. We can look at it as an ocean that creates waves. So waves come and go on the ocean, in the same way thoughts come and go in our mind. And that our mind creates thoughts based on our past experiences. So we collect everything we experiences and then produces thoughts from these experiences. And since we live in a misguided world, we have been down here a long time in fear and anger. Now we're heading to courage. Now we are on courage, and our goal is to climb higher. But we have been down here for a very long time, and that's why our thoughts can be very destructive, very negative, because that's what we listen to on TV, that's what we see in movies, that's what we listen to on radio, that's what we read in the newspaper. Like, we see so much violence in the world, and of course our mind creates thoughts based on these experiences. That's why the gravitational pull from a negative thought can be very strong. And that's why it's so hard to stop thinking. That's why we have this compulsive thinking, because the gravitational pull is so strong. If the mind is still, we can start to use it better. Same if my arm would be doing like this all the time, it's really hard to use my arm. Like if I would start to grab a glass, it's really hard to grab something. It's really hard to use my arm if we were moving like that all the time. Same with our mind. It's really hard to use our mind if there is an endless stream of thinking. So that's why, again, it's so important with this separation. To break free from thought, we need to separate ourselves from our thoughts, because we cannot see the forest for the trees. We cannot observe something that is just very close to us. That's why we need this space. So today I want to recommend a little practice to create some distance between you and your thoughts, and practice observing your thoughts and not taking your thoughts so seriously. So yeah, and especially start with the low-hanging fruits. Again, that is much easier than if you're going through something big. Then it's really hard. So start with low-hanging fruits. Start to observe your thoughts when you're doing ordinary things like folding the laundry, doing the dishes, walking from here to there, or preparing a cup of coffee. We do ordinary things. Just try to be present to the moment, and if you're thinking, just observe that you're thinking again. And yeah, just try to create some space between you and your thoughts. And yeah, that's everything I had to share for today. I thank you very much for watching. Please click the like button if you like this video, and subscribe to the channel if you want. And I see you in the next video.